Hello everybody, welcome to Project Beauty, where we talk about project planning and everything beauty related. My name is Jen. I'm going to do my inventory on my blushes now, and I'm going to post the pictures here. So I will show you pictures of everything that I have in my collection. First, we will start with a mishmash picture, which has a Sephora picture or a Sephora palette in the center top, which has, I want to say, 4 blushes. This is what I consider 4 blushes in this palette. So there's, I think, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Top 2 center, I believe. And then bottom, I believe it is the far left and the far right. Or it's either the 2 on the right. I can't quite remember. But based on the picture that I'm seeing in here, it's a little difficult because my pictures are a little more blurry than what you guys are seeing up here. But there are 4 total blushes in there. Also, to the right of that is a entire blush palette from Made by Mitchell. It's an extra large curve case, which has every single shade of whatever they had in their collection. And there's tons of reds, tons of oranges, some purples and pinks, and it's just fabulous. And I'm so excited to own that. Just underneath the Sephora case, there's something called the Electric palette, which technically is a face palette. You can use it for anything, but I haven't used it so far, so I'm going to be honest. But what I would like to do is create my own blushes using that palette. So if I want to add a little bit of, say, blue to a pink, I can do that. If I want to add a bit of a green to a red to make it more neutral, I can do that. So I feel like that one would be really good for utilizing and creating my own shades as cream products. And then just below that, I have another curve case, which is called the Light Curve case. And all 4 of those top blushes, like on the top row, those are all blushes. Those are fabulous. They're really beautiful if you have a very fair complexion, or like light to fair, or fair light, I guess. Beautiful, beautiful palette. And then at the very bottom left of the screen is the Benefit Cheek Leaders something reunion tour or something. I don't even know. I would like to declutter all of those if I haven't done so already. The top 2 toward the left, so the left 2 and then the one on the bottom left, horrible blushes. They look like absolutely nothing on my face. They don't perform well. The only reason I'm hanging on to that palette is because of the cookie highlighter. So if I haven't removed that on its own and then decluttered the other 4 shades, so the Hula and those 3 blushes, if I haven't done so already, I will be doing that very soon, because it's just not something that works very well for me, and I'm quite disappointed in the formula, honestly. And then we'll move over to my blush palettes. So my blush is honestly very excessive. I have a lot more blush than any single person needs. And yes, I have a YouTube channel, but I am not one of those channels where I have to get the newest, latest, and greatest things all the time, and yet here I buy a constant bunch of different things. So I need to just enjoy what I have for a while. So watch my channel for 2025 and you will see I will be having a lot of blush project pans going on, a lot of things with blushes going on, using my collection, deciding what I like. I really am going to dig deep into my collection and appreciate all of the beautiful hundreds of blushes I have. So we'll talk about numbers in a second, but this it's a little I don't want to say daunting. I don't want to use that word, but I have a lot of blushes, just a lot. So okay, let's go to the top left. I have the Tarte. Now, this is a brand new palette. I think it's Jewel Crush something blush. There's 3 blushes in there and 1 highlighter. Underneath that, I have a Pat McGrath. Underneath that, I have 2 Blend Bunnies. And all of those are blushes, with the exception of the 2 highlights on the Pat McGrath one and the Too Faced one. And then in the middle row, I have it was like a jeweled gem something blushes from Tarte, and there is 5 blushes in that palette. Below that is one, I want to say Bella Beauty Bar. I haven't used that one yet, as far as I know. I'm filming this a little early. Underneath that, I have the Glam Light Chucky palette, the blush duo, which is fabulous. I wish I bought another set of that. It's fabulous. And then toward the right there, we have one from Juvia's Place. And then beside that is a one size. And then below those is all Patrick Ta. Those are all Patrick Ta blushes. The one does not have pan on it. I don't know if you guys are getting that glare, but on mine it looks like there's a little bit of pan. But there's like a nice bright blue base pink, and then to the right there's like that Barbie duo. That's the newest one from 2024, and underneath that is a really vibrant sort of like orangey coral, which is really beautiful. Next we have the Jaclyn Hill face palette, or like blush palette. Beside that is it's the, I want to say Daria, or not Dahlia, it must be Daria, from Natasha Denona, which has 3 blushes in it. And then below that is a Made by Mitchell case that has just powder blushes. Next is a cream palette, which is all Saint products. And that one I plan on only using next year, and then it's all leaving my collection. So that will substantially reduce the number of blushes I have in my collection, because they're going to be old, right? There's too many. It's going to be old. I used to sell that until I realized just like wasn't for me. And so yeah, I'm just going to use those until I can't anymore for 2025, and then they'll be gone. Below that we have 2 palettes. One is from Jouer, and then the other one is BH Cosmetics. Here we have just a couple of singles that I forgot to put in the other whatever one, the other blush palette one, or the blush singles pictures. So we have a couple from MAC, one from Made by Mario, and one from Kimchi. This particular photo, yeah, I'm looking at just the blushes in the far left. This is from Ilia, and it has 4 cream blushes in it. So I really need to get my use on that, because they're beautiful, first of all, but second of all, it's such a tiny little palette. Like for cream, I can't even get a brush in that. Next is just a bunch of stuff that I'm working on, or was working on in 2024, my latest projects. So I have a couple blushes from MAC. I have one from Becca. I have one from Pat McGrath, this little teeny tiny one. I have a Bare Minerals, a Valentino, one from Alley-Oop, which is the cream pink one. There's also one cream one from Danessa Myricks, fabulous formula. I also have the Tarte Face, the palette that opens like a shell, the round one. Hate that packaging, but the product is nice. And then beside that, I have my Bubbly from LYS, the stick blush, the tall one. I have a couple of other cream ones. One is from Made by Mitchell, and the other one is from Say. And then I have a Give Duo blush, and that's it for blushes. That's in this picture. Everything else is either highlight, bronzer, that's it, or maybe a brightening powder. So in the next picture, I think we went over this. Yeah, we went over this. Okay, so this is next picture right here is my cream blushes, and these are all of my cream singles. This is extremely daunting to look at. It's like there's so much happening in this picture, but I had to put it all in one because it was just, it's so much. It's probably super tiny for you guys. Maybe if I move over I can make it bigger or something, but it's just, I might even do full size screen, honestly. It's just so much. But what I like about this is most of these are minis from holiday collections from the Sephora sales. So what I enjoy about this is that I get to try a bunch of different colors from a bunch of different brands, and they cost me a fraction of the price than it would for me to buy one full size. And then if I don't like a color, I can pass that on to somebody else. But there is a little bit of everything in this picture, which is absolutely ridiculous. So needless to say, I don't need to buy any more blush in cream for a very long time. But I will say I'm a little bit addicted to blushes. I love them so much. They're fabulous. And I do like buying the kits at the holidays. So if I do buy any blush or anything to try, it would be at the holiday sale. But I would need to really play with these things and make a big decision before I spend any more money on blushes, because this is just insane. The next one is singles. I have a couple of pictures of singles. So this first one is just a ton of different products. I'm not going to label or list every single one in here, but there's just so many. And as you can see, there's a couple from Give, couple from NYX, couple from, oh my gosh, I don't even know what this brand is anymore. What is the brand? Cover Effects. Oh my gosh, they're so old. They were from Marshalls. And I got one from Danny, which I think she got from TJ Maxx. That's the one without the packaging there. I have a couple from Ofra, Natasha Denona, Kosas, Tarte Singles. Oh my gosh, Benefit, which I need to try those. I've tried the one from Krista, the shade Krista, but I haven't tried Shelly or Rockateur yet, I don't think, so I need to try those. That's the kimchi packaging right in dead center. I already had shown you the actual physical picture of that one. And then there's a couple of Armani's down the bottom and a couple of House Labs at the top. So there's a bunch of different mixes here. I said I wasn't going to tell you guys, and here I am like calling them all out. This next picture, you can clearly tell the winner of my blush collection is definitely MAC Cosmetics. Most of this picture is MAC Cosmetics. The whole center area is all MAC. Most to the left are MAC with the exception of one, which is House Labs. And then the ones to the right, there's one MAC one in the very bottom, and then the rest is either another Ofra, some Bare Minerals, Valentino, which I showed you one of those already, and then the one from Dior is gone, out of my collection. I have decluttered it. Did I actually take it out of my inventory though? I don't think I did, so I'm going to quickly look for that now. But then I haven't even tried the Quo one yet, like, and that one is one I really want to try, but yeah, I haven't tried that one yet, unfortunately. I don't think I can find the Dior one yet, so just take this total with a grain of salt, because I have not removed it from my collection, I don't believe. So yeah. Okay, so we'll go back to the totals. So is this the only one? Yeah, that's the only one for my blushes. So for blush numbers, okay, I'm going to kind of get back into the center here. For my blush numbers, this is really devastating. This tells me ding ding ding, red flag problem. Okay, end of 2023 I had 289 blushes, and this is palettes, singles, cream products, everything is included. That's a blush in my collection. In the beginning of 2024, so it jumped up that fast from the end of 2023 when I did my inventory to the beginning of 2024 roughly. I went up to 313, and it just got worse. I am now at a total of 383. If I have removed the Benefit Cheek Leader palette from my collection, I would be down to 380, but that is still absolutely ridiculous. So I need to play around with my blushes and figure out what I love. My problem is I hold on to blushes and I don't declutter them. I have a hard time. I have decluttered, I want to say maybe 15, 20 blushes in my time, but otherwise I've kept everything from the dawn of time since I ever bought a blush. Like I have my excuse me, my throat's getting dry. I have my first two MAC blushes I've ever bought, which is actually I think I have one of them here, this one right here. This is one of my very first MAC blushes ever. It's called Two Virtues, and I bet you this is from like 2012, maybe 2010. I don't even know, but I'm trying to use it up as much as possible now. Because it's a baked formula and it's nothing like I have in my collection. I have nothing else like this that's like that purple undertone of a pink. It's so beautiful. I'll get a better swatch for you guys, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I really love this on my skin, and I'm hoping to complete this one because I'm probably more than half, well, probably half done it for sure. And then the other one that I have excuse me, the other one that I have that's my first ever, which again is from about the same time frame, is called Breezy, and it's a sheer tone blush, and it's one of very few in my collection that actually have pan, and I put this in a project to use it up. It's just that most beautiful burnt cheek, like wind-blown kind of cheek. So beautiful. They're very, very gorgeous, and I just can't part with them. I can't part with my blushes. I don't understand. Plus, I have been gifted so many blushes from wonderful people like Rania and Jaylon and Kim and excuse me, and Danny, like so many people, and Valerie, like so many people have given me blushes. Deb gave me blushes, like so many people. And I have a hard time parting with stuff. It has to really not work for me. Like Ruth sent me one from oh gosh, what's the brand name? Starts with a K. And I've wanted to try it so bad. And she gave me a blush and I was so pumped, but it was too highlighty for me. I have to have like a satin, or like I don't like a highlighting blush. It's just too much shine for me. And so I had to part with that one. And then Jaylon gave me one, which I had to part with as well because it was way too fair and it looked just like a powder on my skin, not a blush. So I had to part with those two. But those are the only two that I can think of that I've actually parted with, because it didn't actually physically work for me. And if I feel like it will work for me, then I don't want to part with it. So I have a really hard time with that. But currently I have apparently 383 blushes. This is my last number that I've confirmed. Next year I'm going to physically go through every single thing with a fine-tooth comb, and if I love it, I'm keeping it. If I don't, I'm getting rid of it. But it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I don't want to be angry at myself because honestly, when I look at my MAC blushes, I'm just like, oh, wow, like these are beautiful. But then I bought other things because I wanted to try other brands. And it's funny because some of those I have the same shades from MAC. So I think to myself, like, why did I do that? But blushes are one of my favorite things in my collection, so I'm not going to be mad at myself. I'm just going to move forward with better consumerism and maybe try and not to buy until the next Sephora sale at the end of the year. I don't need blushes, and if I want blushes, it's going to be little small kits that have multiple shades in them, and certain brands. I'm not going to just buy every single blush palette that ever comes out or blush kit that comes out. So really need to rein this part in and try and use what I absolutely have and love. So, yep, 383 blushes. That is my blush collection. But I really appreciate every single one of you watching. Thank you so much. I know this probably is just like, wow. But again, blush singles, cream blushes was unreal. I'm actually shocked that I have that many cream blushes, and it doesn't even take up my entire drawer because they're all really tiny. And then my blush face palettes. I have a lot of blush and face palettes, so that is something that I will have to consider. I don't really think I want to buy another Hourglass palette because I have 5 face palettes now from Hourglass. Like, who needs 5, right? I'm sure someone has every single one of them, and that's kudos to them, but yeah, I just need to think more about my purchases. So better consumerism for 2025. So if you want to stay along the journey and watch me use my blushes, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to leave a comment and you've gotten this far but you really don't know what to comment down below, leave me something Christmassy as an emoji, or just write the word Christmas. I would love that, just to know that you are here for the whole brunt of it, the long journey of this video. And I really appreciate your support and kindness, and I hope you have a fabulous holiday and take care of you and yours, and I will see you in the next video.